Producer Jess.
We're getting good at this. I like it. Today, well, actually, it was yesterday. We had the chance to sit down with Maren Morris and have a chat with her, which is what I like to call a field trip when we get to leave the studio and go do an interview somewhere else. We did it at the Bud Stage, which she really loved, right?
Yeah, it's such a great venue. And just the vibes on a good day. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was so nice. She remembered her dressing room from when she was there 2 years before because she was like, it's such an iconic venue. It's really not one that you forget. She was telling us that she took her son to Ripley's Aquarium in Toronto that morning. So she had just gotten back from that. And we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about what's on her rider because I was looking through all her stuff that she got in her dressing room before she came in. You actually went to the show that night too, right? How was it?
It was a great show. She's such a good performer. Also, she has a great band. Like 6 people in the band. Like, it was lovely. She just has great songs. Like, hit after hit.
I know. I think she's one of those artists too. She's been around for a bit at this point, and she has some really like iconic songs, but I still feel like she's still underrated. I would still use that term to describe her.
Speaking of iconic songs too, her talking about her friends writing for Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, you'll hear that in the interview. Yeah, a lot of her friends have written all the top songs on the chart right now. All the Sabrina Carpenter songs that are taking over. That's going to be so surreal to listen to a song and know that it's your friend that made it.
Totally. What a fun moment.
So fun. Such a good conversation. So let's get into it. iHeartRadio Canada. Hi, I'm Shannon, here with Maren Morris.
Hi.
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, it's good to be back in Toronto.
I couldn't help but notice that, is this your rider, all of the snacks, or is this just what they provide for you?
It kind of looks like it's a mix of my rider and what my band likes as well. Nice. But yeah, we try to like keep it not too crazy back here.
I was going to say, it's pretty healthy options.
Thank you. I do love Cheez-Its, though. That's always a must.
Yeah. Is the disposable cameras, is that on your list or is that someone else's?
Yeah, that's something I request like at every show because we go through so much film out here. And I just like to always have like a little disposable camera. And my son knows how to use them now. So just like his crooked like shots are so cute to like develop and just remember each city we were in.
Totally. I was thinking that's such a good idea to like request that and then just have that at every show.
Yeah, it's been fun. It kind of keeps you off your phone too because you want to like wait for something to develop and not just like instantly have something.
Yeah. So you're saying that your son is on the road with you?
Yeah,
which has got to be totally different vibes than doing it on your own.
Yeah, he was out with me the last time we were here on my Humble Quest tour. We did the Budweiser stage, and he was out then too, but he was 2. So he kind of vaguely remembers being out, but now he's 4. Went to the aquarium this morning. And he just, he just has such a relationship with all the band and the crew, and he loves being able to tour because he gets to see so many different aquariums, zoos, museums, and just, venues. So he really thinks it's like his own version of summer camp.
Yeah, totally. That's so sweet. So do you try to bring him to aquariums and zoos in different cities?
Yeah, the weeks that I have him, I'm obviously working right now and summer is for touring. So it's nice to have him out. It makes me happy. And I feel like it kind of boosts the like overall morale of everyone. It's just like if you have like an animal out or a child, I feel like just everyone's like day gets a little bit brighter when they walk into the production office or into catering.
Yeah, totally. I love the aquarium here too. That's usually what I recommend.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's really nice. The giant tanks. How's it been doing shows with Maroon 5?
Good. This is our 4th show with them, so we're kind of like it's a brief run, but it's kind of crazy, like realizing having never seen them live in this capacity before. Just every song is a hit, so there's like no dead area of the set list. It's like all giant smashes. So yeah, it's rare that you are touring with a band that has that.
Yeah, I feel like people forget that how long they've been around.
I know, and it's super nostalgic for me because when they play songs from Songs About Jane, I'm like instantly transported back to like 7th grade. And it's definitely a legacy sort of act having that longevity for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm obsessed with the song Cut with Julia Michaels.
Thanks.
It's so good. I want to know everything about it. How did you two first connect? Have you known each other for a while?
We have, yeah. So I've obviously been a fan of Julia's work forever, and also her work as an artist, not just her songwriting career. But I think our first time writing was back when I was writing for my album Humble Quest, and we actually wrote my song Circles Around This Town together. And that was the first single of that record. And, you know, it was just so autobiographical. It was my first time writing with Julia. And she just like really, I understood why she is the success that she is as a songwriter working with artists, because she just knows how to instantly hone in on their life story and make it palatable for others to hear, and make it catchy also. And she just is so good at that. And she's just over the years become such a good friend. We got to go to the Grammys for that song. We were nominated for country song. And yeah, and so obviously she's just become someone that I've become friends with, and also a peer of mine in the writing room. And I just, any date I can get with her in a session is a lucky day for me. And we wrote Cut really not that long ago. It was like 3 months ago. So It's a really new song. And I'd been holding on to this concept. It was originally going to be called And Seen. And it became Cut because I was talking to Julia, and she was like, okay, how do we like really streamline this concept and this idea of just being exhausted trying to hold up this facade of perfection. Mm-hmm. And when you finally have a moment of solitude, you just let the mask slip. But also it being not a negative thing. Like right. It's like everyone just needs to let the steam out of the kettle. It doesn't mean the mental breakdown. It just means like, I just need to scream. So yeah, she just knew how to make that a fun idea for a song. And, the melodies of it are just really cathartic and feel almost like ABBA-esque to me. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so it's cool having this out with her sort of in my new era of musical direction.
Yeah, totally. I wanted it to be longer too. I was like, it's only 2 minutes. We need more.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of appropriately ended on the word intermission because it is leading to something else. But yeah, maybe we need to do like an extended version. That seems to be like a resounding request from fans or listeners is like, wait, it ends too quick.
More? Yeah.
Yep.
And music video?
Yeah, we have some really bold ideas for one. But yeah, anytime I can be on set with her, it's an easy, fun day.
Yeah. And speaking of intermission, you have 5 songs coming out August 2nd. What made you choose an EP, not a full album? Why this project specifically?
I think because I'm still currently processing and writing through this healing phase I'm going through. And so I have so many songs. I could have 3 albums with the amount of songs I've written for this project. But I think just having changed labels and really changed musical directions, I wanted to put music out that was truly immediate and on the tip of my tongue. I didn't want to wait another year to compile the album, press the album into vinyl, have this giant long rollout. It's kind of nice nowadays, like you can just put music out at whim as you're still in the throes of the emotions you were in when you wrote them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of where I was at. And obviously it will lead to the full album, but I wanted to put a piece of music out or a piece of a story out that is something you can hear as I'm still in it. And I think that's the beauty of these sort of like instant releases, is that you're hearing the artist that you admire's like head and neuroses right in the thick of it, and not a year after they've processed it.
Yeah, I love that, in real time.
Yeah, real time, heartbreak and healing and fun and like new beginnings. So yeah, I'm just also like, I want to have new music out. I don't want to wait for like the full album rollout. I just would love to have something out.
Do you have an idea of what you want to do for then the album after that, or you have it all like concepts?
Yeah, it's sort of, it's something that's been mapped out, but also is luckily like kind of an ongoing conversation with like my team and myself, and like also I'm still writing. So I think at this point I have this EP coming out. I have other songs that I'm kind of like saving for the album that I am very excited to also have out for everyone. But I still kind of want to like take the pressure off of being like, turn the album in by midnight or you're going to turn into a pumpkin. I want to be able to still write this summer as I'm going through what I'm going through, and have it maybe be sort of like some last minute additions to this project. So it's sort of like being in the middle of a story that's still being told, and you don't want to like put the period at the end of the sentence yet. So the EP felt like a compromise between like myself and like my fans, and yeah.
No, I love that so much. Yeah. That's so great. I feel like there's a lot of conversation around you of like people wanting to put you in a specific genre, or like Maren's going over here, or she's doing this now. Why do you think it is that people are so focused on like putting an artist into a box?
I mean, I think we're sort of straddling the line of two different worlds. I think the last world is like, you know, the world of vinyl and buying actual CDs and needing to go to a certain aisle to know what you're looking for. The other world, the other leg is like streaming and TikTok, and not needing to go to a certain aisle for that song. It's like everything is sort of thrown into this melting pot of what a playlist is. And so I think that's kind of why there's a need or a sort of, I don't know, Pavlovian response of like, okay, I need to know so I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
Yeah, what are you? And I think, you know, I don't blame people for doing that, because I do it too. And I grew up in the 90s where like you had to switch to a station, and it was a country station, and that's how you would know, okay, they're going to play the Chicks, they're going to play Shania, they're going to play Faith Hill, and then go back to the pop station like so I can hear Britney. So, I mean, now it's like pop music is so vast. It's like you're seeing, I mean, even on the chart now, it's like you see such a wide, diverse array of songs in like the Hot 100 even. And I think that's like the cool thing about pop music is it can be anything. It's just what's popular.
I love explaining that to people with working in pop radio, because people love to hate on pop music. And I'm like, but you do realize it just stands for popular. Like it is what's most mainstream. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you've got like espresso, you've got, I mean, like the last year of music, if you look at the chart, it's like, you know, Sabrina Carpenter, it's like Eminem, it's Noah Kahan, Zach Bryan. Like there's all of these songs that became popular through whatever mediums, but they end up in a chart position of like it being a little bit of everything. And I don't think anyone's looking at that and being like, well, tell me exactly who they are and what their genre is. I think it's just like, do people like this or not?
Yeah. So do you feel like we're moving away from people getting put into those boxes?
I think so. I mean, I think, you know, if you go, I mean, when I listen to playlists just to like sort of drive in my car, or if I'm like cleaning my house, if I put on like the mood chill, there's going to be like all sorts of artists on that playlist, and they could probably identify themselves a million different ways, but someone at some entity decided to plop them into this chill playlist or this dinner playlist. And it's like, I sort of think people are just attracted to a mood over a genre.
Yeah, totally. Who are you listening to right now? Or is it a lot of podcasts?
I mean, I'm kind of both, because sometimes like I get a little bit burnt out on music and I just want to hear people talk. Same. And so I love a podcast. But yeah, musically, I mean, definitely I love the new Ariana record. I guess you can still say it's new. Yeah. It's a few months old. I love Chappell Roan, Sabrina. So excited for her to have her first #1. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like in the pop girl mix right now, just in terms of being inspired lyrically. A lot of my friends have written those songs, and it's just like fun to cheerlead your friends that like are writers on those songs.
Totally. It's like a pop girly year, I feel like, with the amount of albums that are coming out.
Like it's so refreshing. And my friend Amy Allen, I was just texting with Julia actually, and she wrote Espresso and Please, Please, Please. And then my friend Steph Jones also, she lives in Nashville now, but she wrote Espresso, and it's just like, I can't believe all my friends are just like dominating the top of the chart right now.
That's crazy. I know Sabrina's #1 too. That's so massive. I'm sure they're celebrating like crazy.
Yeah, I bet they are. They should.
That's so great. You've always been super outspoken, which I admire about you. To end things off, what is like the message that you want people to take away if you could sum it all up?
Oh, man. I mean, I want people to feel like they've been connected to something. I think there's like, that's so many emotions. I mean, sometimes you come to shows for escapism. Sometimes you come to hear one or two of your favorite songs. Sometimes you just want to like be in the presence of the artist that you love. And I think there's room for all of that. And I think ultimately, you know, being outspoken, that's like granted me a freedom in a lot of ways, because you start to break down boundaries that have scared a lot of artists into being pigeonholed and, you know, counting their money and wanting to just be safe. And like, I don't fault them for that, because I think like so many of us have come from nothing and we've built something really that big that we're proud of, and we want to hold on to it at all costs. But I think the cost to yourself is not being able to sleep easy at night because, you know, you didn't speak up about something, or you saw someone being bullied, or someone made a comment that was awful towards someone marginalized. It's like you see those things start to become more and more like prevalent or allowed when you don't say anything. And so I'm a super boundaried person in my personal life. That's not just to protect myself, but also like my son and my morality and sense of what that is. And I think, you know, ultimately I love doing music. That's like the medium that God or whoever gave me to connect with people. But ultimately, I hope fans leave my shows or listen to my music and feel like they experienced something true and positive, felt safe in the crowd as well.
Maren, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's very nice talking to you.
You too.